Hello everyone. So welcome to another week. So today we'll be continuing with chapter 5, lesson 2 of algebra. By now, hopefully most of you would have finished that trial quiz which I had put on Edmodo, and most of you got like very good marks, but it was again just for a trial. Who knows, maybe you will have to do your quizzes online. Maybe, I'm not saying so, maybe you will have to do it, so you will also get an idea of how it was done, and about the timing and how you have to answer all these things. So it was just a trial for you, and just to know for me who all are studying and who all are not. It was just for that. So let's move on to today's lesson. But before we do today's lesson, let's check the homework which I had given you for chapter 5 lesson 1. Hopefully most of you would have got it right or easy. Okay, so let's see. This is the page, related page. So we have here all the questions. I tried my best to get the answers for you girls on screen rather than writing and explaining it. So you can, of course, check your answers this way also. So for question number 1, we have to just say that whether the ordered pair is a solution of the given system. So you know what to do. The tables were given for you, right? So you only needed to substitute the values. That's in place of x plus 3y equals c. The x is 3. As you all know, the value of x was given first, right? And then the y1 is y. So in place of x, that's 3 plus 3y means 3 multiplied by y. This side should be 6 because on the other side of the equation it was a 6. So it was 6, 6, 6, and 6. So 3 multiply 1 is 3. So 3 plus 3 is 6. So 6 equals 6. This was correct because for this equation, this solution is correct. Now we have to check it for the other one too, which is 4x minus 5y equals 7, right? Because only if both of them are having the same like if you, for both the equations, if you get both the sides correct, only then you can write the pair which is given is a equation is a solution or not. Okay, so this was for the second one. So in place of x, that's 4x, in place of x we replace it with the 3, and then minus 5 multiplied by 1 because y was 1. So 5 ones are 5, 4 threes are 12. So 12 minus 5 is 7. So both sides of the equation have the same answer, which means yes, it is a solution. So you can write is a solution or just simply yes. It's both the same. Okay, so moving on to question number 2, we have 6. X is 6, right? So we need to have that 6 there. And then y was minus 2. Okay, so x was 6 and y was minus 2. So using these two values, we are going to be finding out whether the equation given is the pair given is a solution for the equation or not. So for the first one, I'm just going to do for the first one and check what happened here. This is troubling. Okay, so 3x minus 2y equals 14. So which means 3x minus 2y equals 14. In place of x, we replace the x with 6 and replace the y with negative 2, and this side should be 14 because the other side of the equation is all 14, 14, and 14. Okay, so all what you need to be doing is 3 multiplied 6 is 18, minus 2 multiplied by minus 2, that will give you a positive 4. That's why here it became positive 4. Okay, so 18 plus 4 is 22. Now on the other side of the equation we have 14, and on this side of the equation we have 22. So which means both of them are not equal, which means the answer here is not the correct one. The pair given is not the correct. Okay, so when we solve the first one itself, we came to know that the answer is not correct. So what's the point in when you solve the next one? That's why I didn't solve it. Yesterday in the video for Thursday also I gave you that hint. If the first one itself is wrong, if the first one itself you got it as wrong, there is no point in solving the second one, because even if you get the correct one for the second, it will not be yes, because it is if the first one is wrong, so definitely that's going to be a no too, because for us to write yes, both of them should be equal. Like this side, both of them should have the same answer. So if one is having a different answer, and even if you get here the same, like correct answer, it's going to be a no. Okay, now moving on to question number 3. This is where the video was messed up too, but I hope you guys understood this. But still, let me quickly explain it to you how you need to do. So always make sure that the equation is in the form y is equal to mx plus b. Y is equal to mx plus b. Okay, now y is equal to mx plus b. Now for the first equation, y is equal to x plus 4. What I did is I first wrote down separately what's the y-intercept. Y-intercept is 4 because that's b, and the slope, when there is no slope here, I told you it is always 1. We don't write 1x, that's why it's missing. So I told you to use this way. Slope is rise over run, which means the slope is going to be 1 over that. Below that, that's going to be a negative an invisible one, right? So which means rise means you go up and run means you go to the right. So this is how you find the slope for the given equations. So here, y is equal to negative 2x plus 1. The y-intercept is 1 again because it's here. And the slope is negative 2 because y is equal to m. M is negative 2. So negative 2 means you cannot move up. Because it's a negative number, you need to come down, which is called as the fall. Always, again, there is an invisible one below it. So that's going to be the run, which means we will come 2 down and 1 to the left. So 2 down, 1 to the left. So using this, the first one, your graph should look something like this. I will zoom it for you. Okay, so your graph should be something similar. Not something similar, it should be exactly similar. How is that possible? See, for the first one, I told you the intercept is 4, right? So you draw a point here. Okay, I hope you all have drawn the point there. Next, what was the slope? 1 over 1, which means go up 1, right 1, up 1, right 1. So from this point, we go 1 up, 1 to the right, 1 up, 1 to the right. Now this is only the graph which is given for us. Okay, now to get more points, what we have to do is we have to follow the opposite. Now as given for the slope, 1 up, 1 to the right, we can do it until the end of the graph, but it's better we have some more points. So what we do is from the intercept, that's 4, we go to the other side. So it's basically the opposite, right? The opposite is left. So you go left, down, which means from this point of view, it's 1 up, 1 to the right. Okay, so again, to get another point, what do? Go to the left, go down. Okay, so now you will have 4 points, so you can join the line. So this equation, for that equation, you will get this line. What was the slope for the other, what was the y-intercept for the other line? The y-intercept for that was a 1, right? So that's why you have to draw a point here. Now from this point, we will find out the other coordinates. What was the slope? It was negative 2 over 1, which means fall to right 1. So let's check. From the y-intercept, we fall to 1 to right 1. So this is one of our points. Okay, then again from this point, fall to 1 to the right. So again, this is another point. Again from this point, fall to 1 to the right. So you have 4 points, so you can use your ruler and draw. Now once you join both the lines, I mean when you draw the lines, of course the side one place the lines are going to intersect. If they don't intersect means your lines are wrong. The way you drew the graph is wrong. Okay, your lines must intersect. So when you draw the intersecting point for this graph is going to be -1 and 3. So this is going to be the coordinate for the answer, coordinate for this graph. So that's going to be a solution for this question. So the solution is -1 over -1 and 3, because that's where both the graphs, the lines are intersecting or they are crossing. So keeping this in mind, let's move to question number 4. Again here, it's always better you write the y-intercept and slope for each equation. Now for this intercept and this slope is for the equation y is equal to x plus 3, x plus 6. Okay, this part, that is this y-intercept is for y equals x plus 6. So 6 is the intercept because y is equal to mx plus b. So b is the intercept, which is 6. We don't have the y, which means there is always a 1 there. Okay, so that is the rise. Okay, so what's below it? Again, there is an invisible one, which is the run. So which means 1 up, 1 to the right, because it's not negative, right? Okay, so this one, this intercept is for y is equal to negative 3x, negative 3x plus 6. This is for this equation. Okay, now why are we saying this is negative here? Okay, first for the y-intercept, it's 6 because y is equal to m. This is the m x plus b. Okay, now what is 6? 6 is the y-intercept. How do we find the slope for this? Here we have negative 3, right? So negative 3, and below that there is always an invisible one, which means negative means it's like it's a fall. Instead of going up, you need to come down. Here you will go up because it's positive. Here you will come down because it is negative. So taking this intercept and this intercept, let's go and check whether our the graph which you got is correct or not. Okay, so if you have used that way and drawn the graph, you will have a graph like this, because for the first one, what was the y-intercept? What was the y-intercept for the first one? It was 6. Also for this one, it is 6. Both of them have the intercepts of 6. Okay, so first what we need to draw is draw 6. On 6, we will draw a point. What was the rise and the run for the first one? It was 1 over 1, which means from this point, we'll go 1 up, 1 to the right. 1 up, 1 to the right, 1 up, 1 to the right. So if you join these points, you will get a line like that. Okay, now going to equation 2, which was y is equal to minus 3x plus 6. Okay, so the y-intercept is 6, so we draw a point on 6 again. Now minus 3 means it's a 4, so we come down 1, 2, 3, and 1 to the right. 1, 2, 3, and to the right. So similarly, if you get 3 or 4 points like that, you will join the line. So you will get a point where both of them are intersecting, which means the solution for this graph, solution for this equations are going to be 0 and 6. So the solution is 0 and 6. So that was your homework. Okay, and I know many times I have told you girls not to do what the problem solving, but here, because it's, I just wanted to show you how you have to do, so just do concentrate on what we have to do. Here, Marian and Carlos are each saving for new scooters. So far, Marian has $9 saved. So here 9 means 9 is going to be the y-intercept for her because she already has 9, okay, and can earn $6 per hour babysitting. So for 1 hour, it is $6. So here I already specified this part here. Y-intercept for Marian is okay, I wrote the spelling wrong there. 9. So you will draw first the dot on 9, and for each hour we can have the equation 6x, because for 1 hour 6 means for 2 hours it's going to be 12, for 3 hours it's going to be 18, where x is the number of hours. I think this is more than enough information for us to draw the graph. Now coming to Carlos, he has $3 saved, which means what? Which means the y-intercept for Carlos is going to be 3, okay, and can earn $9 per hour. So per hour means in 1 hour 9, so 2 hours it's 18, 3 hours it's 27, and so on. So that's why I wrote the equation 9x, because x is the number of hours. Okay, now if you use this and if you draw a graph, your graph will be something like this, because see here, the y-intercept for Marian was 9, and the y-intercept for Carlos was 3. So for 1 hour, it was not, for 1 hour, from the equations which I wrote up, in 2 hours, how much can Marian earn? If in 1 hour she's earning, how much it was? I forgot. For 1 hour, it's 6. So for 2 hours, it's going to be 12, right? So 2 is 12. And then so on, if you draw the graph like that, they will meet at a point where it's going to be 2 and 21. So your solution for this graph is going to be 2 and 21. Okay, girls? So I hope that's clear for you. This question was just for making you do some problem solving, because we did not solve it for a long time. Okay, now quickly let's move on to lesson chapter 5, lesson 2. Okay, now that is also going to be the same way, but all what you need to do is, this is another way of solving equations. Okay, the first one, the one which we did now, was through graphing. Okay, now this one we are going to solve is through, can you guess? We are going to solve it through substitution method. Okay, so we have here, this is page 8. This is going to be the next page for you. First, let me open the related page. Okay, so page number 336, chapter 5, lesson 2, solving systems by substitution. Now, how are you going to solve these systems by using substitution method? First, see here, sometimes it is difficult to identify the exact solution to a system by graphing. Okay, in this case, we use the method called substitution. So, of course, your words will be specified here. Use the graphing method or use the substitution method. So when they say use substitution, of course, there are some steps to be solved. Now, this is already in your textbook. Okay, so here they have given you 5 steps. Step 1, solve for one variable. You will not understand this unless I do the question. So once I finish showing you how to do the questions, you can go back and read the steps. Okay, now here, see this. This is the system given to you. Y is equal to 2x, y is equal to x plus 5. So both of these equations are given as y, y equals 2 and y equals 2. So this is step 1. What are you going to do? You choose any one equation, whether you want this equation or you want this equation, it's up to you. So I feel this one is easy for us to solve because it's only one variable. So y is equal to 2x. We write y is equal to 2x. Okay, now what I will do is, in place of this y here, okay, in place of this y, I will write x plus 5 in this place. Okay, so how will I be able to solve this? I will show you. See, I don't know, like in your book, they have given you the other way of doing it, but let me show you the easier and more practical way of doing it. Now, these are the two equations given for us, right? So what we are going to do is, we can choose any one equation and substitute that value in the other one. So let me choose this one, y is equal to 2x. So first I'm going to write down y is equal to 2x. Okay, what am I going to do in the next step? Now you can see this y, this x plus 5 1, you can put in place of this y. Why? Because this is also equal to this and this is also equal to this. So moving one y away, I will write x plus 5 equals 2x. Okay, that means instead of this y, I'm substituting the value of the other y in that place. That's all. Okay, now how are you going to solve this? It's just going to be 2x. Okay, we will move the x's to the one side. So that's going to be 2x minus x, right? So that's going to be 5 equals x. 2x minus x is x, 1x, so what x equals 5. Now using this value, that is x is equal to 5, I am going to substitute in any one value and find the value of y, because we did not find the value of y, we only found the value of x here. So we need to be finding the value of y again. So to do that, choose any one equation. I choose this one, so this time I'm going to choose this. Okay, so you have to write y is equal to 2x plus 5. 2x plus 5. Okay, so in the next step, in place of x, you are going to multiply that with the value which you got above, that's 5 plus 5, which is equal to, what's that going to give you? 10 plus 5, which is equal to 15. So, sorry, what did I do here? Here there is no 2. Okay, it was y is equal to x plus 5. So that means it's just going to be, in place of x, you will put 5 plus 5, which is equal to 10. Sorry for writing the equation wrong. See, that's why you have to be very careful when you're writing the equations. You should not mess up with the equations, okay? So that's going to give you a 10. So now what are the ordered pairs we got? We got the answers as x is, how much was x? X was 5 and y was 10. So this is going to be a solution. This is going to be the solution for these two equations. You can choose any one and substitute the same value in the other to find out the answer. So just to make it more clear for you, I will just show you some videos so that it's going to be a much way easier way. Okay, now this is the person who has written your book. So let's see, listening to him, what you can understand. Okay. Okay, so just listen to him for a while and then we'll get back to the lesson.
So if you want to solve a linear system, one way is to draw a graph of both of the lines involved and seeing if you can see the point of intersection exactly and check your answer. Another method, which is a little bit more systematic and a little bit more rigorous, is actually the method of substitution. Let's take a look at an example where you can see the substitution happening in action, see what exactly is being substituted for what. Let's find the solution to this linear system of two equations, y equals 3x and y equals x plus 4. Well, I want to find the value for x and the value for y, which make both of these hold. In particular, this value for y is going to equal that value for y. These y's are going to be equal. Well, that means that if I want, I could substitute in place of this y, its twin, which is this. This equals y, and since this equals y, therefore I can substitute and say this must equal this. So the substitution is really to notice that since the y's are equal, these guys must be equal as well. And so by substitution, I can say that the 3x must be equal to x plus 4. Let me just say that one more time. I'm going to substitute the values for the y. Since y equals y, then this must equal that. So this must equal that. Well, now.
Okay, now here it doesn't matter whether you write 3x equals x plus 4 or x plus 4 equals 3x. As I showed you before in the example, we wrote x plus 4 on the other side of the equation. It doesn't matter where you write it. Anyhow, when you solve and when you bring the letters and the numbers together, your answer is going to be the same.
Now the y's are gone. So I can easily solve this for x. I'll bring the x's together. I'll subtract x from both sides. And so here I see 2x equals 4 by dividing.
Okay, now this method of solving the equations I have not taught you. This is called the elimination method. All what you need to do from here is, once you get this equation 3x equals x minus 4, bring the x to the other side. So that's going to be 3x minus x plus 4. Okay, so 3x minus x is going to give you 2x which is equal to 4, then x is equal to 4 divided by 2, which is going to give you x is equal to 2. So the answer, the way you are going to do will be the way we are using, not this way which he is showing you, because don't concentrate on this way, you will get confused. You just solve it the same way. When we have an equation like this, what do? We bring the x to the other side, so it becomes 3x minus x equals 4. You will continue to do the other way. Anyhow, you're going to be getting x is equal to 2.
Divide both sides by 2, I see that x equals 2. So there's the solution, x equals 2. Am I done? Am I done? And no, I'm not. That's just the x value. I still have to find the y value that goes along with the x. Now there's two ways of doing that. Either one of these equations should lead me to the right y value. I can take the 2 and plug it into the first equation for x to get y, or I can plug it into the second. It shouldn't make a difference. Let's plug it into the first. If I plug into the first, I'd see that y equals 3 times 2, and that yields 6. I should get the same answer if I plug into the second. Let's just do that for fun. Plug 2 in here, 2 plus 4, that equals 6. So my answer is x equals 2, y equals 6. Or if you want to write as an ordered pair, 2, 6. And you can check your answer by taking these values and plugging it into each of them and realize that both are satisfied. If I put a 2 in here, 3 times 2 is 6, that checks. If I put a 2 in here, 2 plus 4 is 6, that checks. So checks. So substitution is to actually take two of the unknowns and set them equal to each other. And when you set them equal to each other, we have this. Let's try another example together just to sort of get into the groove, get into the rhythm, sort of feeling it. Getting that mojo, getting that math Joe working. All right, so here
Okay, now here I pause this because I don't want you to get confused with the other way. Today, I just want you to concentrate only these equations where they have already given you as a y. So I'm not showing you the other thing to do. All what I want you to do is open up the related page. Okay, that's okay, let's try this one. Solve each system by substitution. I want you to try 1a. Okay, so you can do it simultaneously with me. What does this mean? Y is equal to x plus 3, y is equal to 2x plus 5, which means you, in place of this y, you can substitute this value here, right? In place of here y, you can substitute this value and solve it. So how are we going to solve this? Let me do it with you. You can do it before me if you know how to solve it. Okay, so I'm taking y is equal to 2x plus 3. Let me give some space in between these. Okay, so what's the next step to be done? Next step is, in place of this y, I will write this equation which is given. So what's the equation given for that? 2x plus y plus 5 equals x plus 2x plus 5 equals 2x plus 3. Okay, so all what I did is, in place of this y, I just brought the equation which was given for the other one. Okay, what's the next step? Move all the x's to one side, so that will become 2x this is x plus 3. Why am I writing 2 everywhere extra? Okay, so I'm just using the equation y is equal to x plus 3. Okay, now in place of the y, I wrote that, and then in place of the same x plus 3, I have x plus 3. So what's the next step to be done? Next step is bringing all the x's to one side. So that's going to be 2x minus x equals 3 minus 5, right? Okay, the next step, 2x minus x is going to be x equals 3 minus 5 is minus 2. Okay, now are we done with the question? Of course not. We just found the value of x, that's all. We did not do anything more. So to find the value of y now, you can choose any one of these equations and put the value of x and find out. So let's see. I am choosing the first equation, which is y is equal to x plus 3. Okay, so what is the value of x we got? It was minus 2 plus 3. So how much is minus 2 plus 3? Minus 2 plus 3 is going to give you 1. Now, if you are not sure of your answers, you can check your answers. How do you check it? Take the equation, any one equation you can take, because I've taken the first one more, I'm taking the second one now. This is, I'm doing only for checking, only to make sure my answer is correct or not. So y equals 2x plus 5. Okay, this was the equation which I'm going to use to solve. What's the value of 1? Y we got 1 equals 2. What was the value of x we got? Minus 2. So which means minus 2 multiplied by plus 5. So 1 equals 2 2's are 2 multiplied by negative 2 is negative 4, right? Plus 5. So how much is negative 5? 4 plus 5 going to give us? It's going to give you 1, which means both our answers, both the sides of our equations have correct answers, right? Which means the answer we got for x and y are correct. So this is how you solve these kinds of equations. Now, as homework, I just want you to do question number from page 340. I want you to do question number 1, okay, and 8 and 9. So you have to do question number 1, 8 and 9 from the related home classwork page, because I don't want you to touch homework yet. So you will be doing from page 340 question number 1, 8 and 9. So we will be checking the answers tomorrow. Hopefully most of you will get the answers right. Only that you need to be very careful when you substitute. As you saw, I also did, like I was also adding extra 2's in that place. Don't do that. So do be very careful when you are writing this is writing the equation in the place. So until I meet you tomorrow in the other video, take care of yourself and stay safe.